Welcome back to the LEC Summer Playoffs with Quickshot and End at the Kha'Zix. And what could be the last time you see SK Gaming in 2020. If they do not win in this game, their season is over, and Schalke are then one BO5 away from Worlds. At least.
This is
continue the playoff.
It's crazy too with our new playoffs format how much these games actually matter, whether or not you go home or go to Worlds. We'll see if Schalke can go that one step further today.
Now let's turn our attention to the draft. Once again, the losing team from the previous game gets side selection, and SK this time have elected for red side. So, going to give themselves the option to counterpick. Odoamne and Schalke have been able to use the red side. No, that's not fair. They've been drafting better than SK.
Yeah, they've just drafted a lot of the same stuff every time, and SK haven't found a good answer. So they say, let's get to the other side of the map, and they're going to ban the Hecarim this time around. So there's been a few problems for SK. I don't think it is just limited to the Hecarim. I think Abbedagge has performed very well in both games, but also Dreams and his signature Nautilus. If you leave that up, you better have something better than what I have seen today, because the Yuumi and the Morgana were not it.
No, definitely the case. And for SK, it has felt as though they are being outclassed by Schalke. I think in drafting and in execution and in individual ability. Crownshot is the one shining light for moments, right? But we'll need to see a big shakeup, and after the shots of the team at the end of the second game, we need to see what pep talk will happen. Now let's take a look at the first pick here. Neon, if they lock this in, there's 3 games in a row on the Senna. And if it's working, why change it?
Yeah, I think that Schalke throughout the split have had a tendency to go for the same bot lane pairings repeatedly when they start working. In their run where they got all their wins, it was sort of the top side of the map that was constantly changing, but they would latch onto a bot lane pairing that worked. And today it's been the Senna Nautilus, and I think they're going to keep running with it.
And the top lane changing, Shen is now locked in. We've seen that ban a couple times. Expecting that to land into Jenax's hands. And the Kog'Maw locked in. Now, when we've seen the Kog'Maw, it has been into Azir's during the regular season.
That would be for the mid lane Kog'Maw,
yes.
Depending whether or not... I don't feel like you would blind pick the mid lane Kog'Maw, but Schalke are welcoming it. They're like, yes, ZaZee, play the AP Kog'Maw. We don't think you have it in your wheelhouse. But I think with the order in which it was picked, I would be more inclined to believe that goes to Crownshot. Similar to how he was playing the Jinx earlier in the day against the Senna. You have a champion that can try to combat her in the range department. Jinx with the rockets, Kog'Maw with his W, of course, and the Bio-Arcane Barrage. But I don't know. I feel like Crownshot has a very different idea of what AD carries are strong at the moment. He's going this very hard scaling route. But are SK going to be able to build him a team comp that lets him, enables him to pop off? Because we've seen 2 games in a row that not be the case.
And not only that, you need the team comp as a baseline, and then you need the teammates to also play it effectively. Abbedagge Azir, by the way, this is the 3rd time in summer that we will see it. He is undefeated. 12.7 KDA. The Morgana has now been locked in again as a little bit of protection with that Black Shield.
And Schalke's entire strategy this best of 5, it seems to be get a strong scaling teamfight comp and beat SK that way. Because SK, the entire split, were known as being a strong team-fighting team that played around objectives, and that was how they won their games, by playing and fighting for Dragon Souls early on into the match. Now, SK have come in with a completely different mindset in this series, but I feel like they're maybe not as practiced on this, or Schalke just have figured them out better, because SK's deviation into this type of draft has not worked out so far in the day.
It has not. Let's see how the draft is going to round out and then translate onto the Rift, as Lee Sin and Orianna will find themselves in the ban pool. If we assume and we know that this Kog'Maw Morgana is going to be in the bottom lane, what do you think ZaZee and Trick want to be running? We've seen top lane be the counterpick option that Schalke elected. And you would imagine that maybe the mid lane, well, mid lane's available, so you can counterpick mid and then counterpick jungle as well.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to see Trick on another farming jungler.
Okay.
It wasn't even that his Lee Sin was terrible in the last game. I actually thought he had a pretty decent Lee Sin performance. It's more of that compositionally, you need the front line to support this Kog'Maw. And with the set banned away continually by Schalke, which I think is absolutely the correct decision against Trick, that limits his options. Now he has the Volibear or the Sejuani, perhaps, they could pivot into if he wanted.
Okay, so Ziggs into Azir.
I mean,
it's meh. It's meh, right? It's what did you think of ZaZee's game 1 performance on the Ziggs?
I mean, it was not great. It just sort of I don't know. I feel like the Ziggs is just very odd to me. And I see the theory here for SK. Again, Ziggs, Kog'Maw, a lot of range.
Yeah.
Where can Azir struggle when he gets out range? We see that all the time with champions that do get picked into it. But you now have a mid lane matchup that is not going to be very adept at playing for the 2 versus 2 around mid. So Trick is going to have a very different idea from game number 2. And I'm not convinced that SK have figured out a way to just build a perfect composition. I don't see a jungle champion for Trick that somehow weaves this whole comp beautifully together.
Let's talk about Schalke then. The Vladimir into Shen. Gonna have a lot of time to farm up. We've got scaling again. You've now got
Schalke just smashed them. They just smashed them with the 4-5 picks right there. Vladimir, free access into the backline.
Yes.
Where's the CC? How do you lock him down? This backline will be exposed. Kha'Zix, the same thing can be said here. If you're versus Kha'Zix, what do? You want to bundle together. So Azir absolutely, Azir and the Vladimir absolutely run you down, destroy you. And if you spread apart because you were afraid of the Vladimir, then Kha'Zix is going to have his way. So I don't know. Schalke just have so many options and the ability to dive the Kog'Maw and the Ziggs that I don't see them ever getting to a point where they come online.
And that Vladimir, by the way, is the 13th unique champion played by Odoamne in 21 games here in Summer. There's that Volibear now locked in, and we have a feeling that Schalke's draft has once again done it. Now, they still need to execute in-game. SK reminder, they had an advantage early in game number 2, and then kind of gave it away with that skirmish around the dragon and started to give up the lead in the individual mistakes. They cannot afford that. Last game of the year for SK if they lose.
What can they do to turn things around? I mean, once again, I'm going to be looking to Trick. Not a ton of great lanes to play through, but can he shut down top lane? Can he shut down bot? We'll have to see.
Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. And my eyes will be on Crownshot, and if he can be enabled, he has never played Kog'Maw in the LEC. And he did play it 3 times in the Spanish ERL. 1 win, 2 losses. So the stats are not in his favor. And just as a little update, Neon is undefeated on Senna this split. 5-0. Now, admittedly, they've been undefeated for 9 games.
No, I mean,
so
his Senna's been good. But this is exactly what I was talking about this a little bit in draft, where they latch onto a bot lane pairing that works for them, and then they run away with it. And I think for like 3 games in a row or something, it was the Senna plus the Tom Kench. Now, of course, today, 3 games in a row, it's the Senna plus the Nautilus, and it doesn't really seem stoppable. In last game, Neon got punished a lot, but it still didn't matter at the end of the day. And I think in this match, with the comp SK has drafted, it's going to be even harder for them to punish this Senna.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Now, you mentioned in draft, the Trick's not going to have a lot of lanes to play around, and honestly, you were jumping for joy at this Kha'Zix pick. I mean, you were even hyped for the possibility earlier in the series as well. What opportunities are we going to see here for Gilius?
I mean, again, I don't feel like this is a
doesn't
game.
have to.
Like, honestly, like the beauty of Schalke's draft is that they have a lot of strong lanes, and they're also just going to outscale, it seems like. And you might be like, but what? There's a Kog'Maw and a Ziggs on the other team. But I'm just not convinced of Volibear's value later into the game when he doesn't have a lot of targets to hit, because it's going to be very hard to have meaningful impact against pretty much anyone besides the Nautilus here for Trick in terms of like targets he can stun realistically within a fight.
Really good damage there connecting after the dredge line. And let's see now where Odo goes. Exactly what you said. I mean, Vlad into Shen is such an old pick. You get so much time. Fairly easy laning phase, and I think something that really stood out to me during the draft, and as you mentioned, how do you prevent him getting to the backline? And you've got a Ziggs and a Kog'Maw. Yeah, there's a satchel charge that Ziggs can bounce off of, but good luck. That's not going to give you enough distance. So I'll be tracking Odo and how easily he's going to be able to get through, because if he does, and when he does, it'll be a lot of damage.
Yeah, and especially, you know, with the TP buffs that happened much earlier in the year, where you get all that movement speed coming off of those, you just put down one good flank ward and it is not going to be possible to lock him up and shut him down. So when I was looking at the early lanes for where Trick can play around, it was like, well, top lane you can actually, you know, potentially get a kill up there. You know, if Shen uses his taunt to burn the pool coming through from Odo, but it's going to be really hard because even after that stun, like Odo still has flash and he has a phase rush, so that's going to be hard. Mid lane, Trick's playing around there right now, but I don't really know what he hopes to accomplish other than get some vision control before securing the bot side Scuttle Crab.
We'll see how deep the vision goes. I think Schalke have had superior vision throughout the previous games, especially on objectives. If every time a dragon fight was coming up, at least in memory right now, it felt as though Schalke played around vision well. And they played around SK's tendencies. You know, we've covered this whole dragon preference a lot, and Schalke kind of know it. We all do. So they bait it and said, well, don't rush it. Wait for SK to step forward. And frankly, they did. So I want to see now adjustments on the SK side. Make sure they don't run into the darkness as and when those dragons become apparent.
And one large adjustment is going to be the swap of Morgana into the bot lane instead of the Yuumi. Yuumi, we saw big problems with the last game for SK where they could never really have vision control over the bot side early because A, the laning phase was pretty miserable for them, and B, Yuumi can't really roam and set up those wards, so that was going to be tough. This is a really nice trade though from Jenax to set up for a trade, and now there's no phase rush on Odo, so this is actually the opportunity I was mentioning for Trick to look for a gank, but a good ward should stop it.
It should indeed. There goes Odo. Easily escapes their Sanguine Pool.
And that was really nicely done because Odo pops the W very, very early because he's in such close proximity to the tower because Trick had the option to flash stun. And if he lands the flash stun, that then applies, I believe he still has the red buff for a slow and, you know, can land the E on top of that. Jenax could get in range. So very nicely done by Odo there. And he went boots 4 pots. We got in a time machine up in the top lane.
I didn't even notice
What year we saw a lane swap earlier today. Now we got the boot starts on the Vlad. So he's going to be able to sustain up no problem.
I actually do like that because with the break week between regular season and playoffs and some smaller pivots, you know, we saw Lilia first pick game 1 and completely disappear. We've got Ziggs mid, Kog'Maw AD, we've had Valée top. What I like about it is you seeing these teams trying to express some individuality, some interpretation. It's working better for some than others, right? And I will call that out. But I do like the fact that there is still some variance, and now we just need to see.
Oh, look at this. Dreams canceled his reset. Oh, Neon's not running a teleport in this game. Because in the last game, Neon had the TP, but I think seeing the Morgana on the other side and potentially even like, you know, the Shen or the Valée jumping on later, it's going to be the cleanse, which I think is a really smart decision because he got picked on a lot in that last game. But for a second there, I was like, wow, this could actually be a fight setup with Crownshot and Limit on no mana.
While he did get picked on, Dreams was able to pick on SK, hook after hook after hook all game long. Gilius has been lingering here for a while, and Trick has just arrived. Dreams still fairly low on HP. Gilius will spot Trick out.
That's a TP
from Abbedagge.
He's level 6 too.
Level 6. The teleport's coming down from Jenax as well, I believe. First blood picked up by Crownshot. Instantly killed is Limit by Abbedagge. Abbedagge anticipates it. Manages to set up 3 kills for Schalke.
There's a reason people are saying the name Abbedagge, and it is because he is coming in clutch so many times. This is a player that I did not think, I thought we'd seen his skill ceiling, but game after game he proves he can make it happen. It starts with this play, this teleport down into the bottom lane. Schalke see Trick here, they don't care. Yeah, Dreams goes down at the start of it, but it's Abbedagge who picks up the first kill, and then this flash to pick up ZaZee. Or it was Crownshot and flashed right into it, could not escape over that wall and finds the triple with the turret shot on top.
Oh, beautiful play by Abbedagge. By the way, 3 kills to Azir in 6 minutes is terrifying.
We can pour one out for Odoamne, who teleported in and got 0 kills or assists.
I didn't even see him in the fight because I was only looking at Abbedagge, who is a clear 1,000 gold above
No, you
everybody.
do not have a stinger and a lost chapter at 7 minutes.
Yes.
That just, no.
Now, good luck to ZaZee in the mid lane, and good luck to the rest of SK. They got an Infernal Drake, okay? So, Ender, our storyline is still intact, okay? But the biggest thing, all jokes aside though, the lack of adaptation or like horizontal development is what's hurting SK.
Check this out. So Trick has level 6, he can turn the turret off, but no summoners were burnt except for the Ignite. Level 6 not here for SK either, so this would be a very bold dive.
No teleports available for Odo Abba.
Oh, Jenax has ulti as well. It's a 4v2.
All right, Dredgeline will get pulled backwards. Dreams able to interrupt so far. And if he's able to save Neon and only concede one, that's the best I think you can hope for. Turret plate goes down. There's a lot of minions and experience being denied, so you cannot discount that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is Neon losing out on all of this. While in the meantime, Jenax TP'd back up top lane, so he's picking up everything. Because Odoamne lost his teleport in the last fight, that enabled SK to make this play. So I like that SK are not just giving up and letting Schalke run away with this. The 3 kills went onto Abbedagge. Now SK need to attack these pressure points on the map, and they made it work in bottom.
And the 2 kills that have been secured by SK are with Crownshot. The fact they've got themselves an Infernal as well will later be a little more valuable, but I think crucial. Crownshot on the Kog'Maw, he's been the player that has been consistently performing at a higher level during the course of the series. He needs to get started. He's got himself the Berserker.
Oh, what?
And ZaZee forced to flash because of a roam by Dreams.
I think he was getting forced down there anyways because Abbedagge has ultimate and Gilius was coming around from the top too. So it looked really crazy on our screens, but he was going to have to use his flash either way in that one. So we'll get away. But Abbedagge is still having his ultimate. No flash on ZaZee. He's just a sitting duck in mid.
I have to take a moment to praise Dreams. We've seen him roaming every single game. We've seen impact in early, mid, and late. Yes, he's had 3 Nautilus games, so he's obviously very comfortable, right? But I think you cannot discount the additional pressure he's applying to SK with every decision that he and Schalke are making.
And it's not like he's just like a Nautilus one trick or anything. I mean, I remember he was such a good Thresh player back in the day, but has played so much Tahm Kench throughout this split as well, and has really positioned himself really nicely on the map to make his ultimate insane on that champion. So he's got a wide breadth of champions that he can actually pilot, and so far in this series, he has been such a major factor in both why Schalke are succeeding and also helping set up Abbedagge with those roams around the middle.
Yes, unlocking him, who now also has the Fiendish Codex, 95 CS to 75, as Abbedagge is in a very powerful, or in a commanding position, shall we say. 82 for Crownshot over the 61 for Neon. No culls picked up this time around. Contrast to the previous game where we're going to have, what was it, the sleepy laning phase, I think.
Yeah, that was the one.
The term that you added to it. And now Trick once again showing his face on the bottom line. So, Ender, very clear what Trick's objective, or at least SK's kind of focus here is.
Did he just get revealed?
Helping. I think he did. I'm pretty sure that's what the observers were highlighting.
Because now watch this, Abbedagge and Gilius are both sprinting down here. It was confirmed, he was revealed to me. So now Gilius and Abbedagge are going to be able to threaten that rotation and force them away from the dive.
Gilius, with the help of Abbedagge, now needs to back away. This is going to quickly become problematic if anyone gets caught by anything, and they do not. And now Schalke manage to escape from that middle lane. Even on gold, 3 kills to 2, the dragon in favor of SK. There's a minute till the next dragon. Taking a look at teleport timings, pretty much going to be up close to for Odo or Abba. And vision not really deep on anyone. It's defensive wards. And once again, Schalke, more vision control.
Yeah, I really like what we're seeing from them so far. I do want to check up on top lane for just a minute, because Jenax doing very well in CS, and really big trade up against Odoamne. I was just looking at the amount of times he's procced Grasp, and before that he'd only procced it 5 times in this game, as playing the melee versus range matchup can be difficult, but you saw there, it's working wonders. But now Gilius on the prowl here.
Yep, and be able to... Jenax paying some respect, he backed away. I think I saw a ping there that Abbedagge was missing in the mid lane. Jenax instantly backed out. Gilius still has the Rift Herald to put down as well, about a third of the timer left. He's going to leap in, manages to get at least one, and Human Play will come out. So they get the flash, that's a success.
Yeah, this is really telling, though, of how Schalke like to play the game, because Mountain Drake is spawning, Gilius spends 20 seconds in the top lane brush to go for the gank, set up a potential dive, but also he has the Rift Herald, so they can place that one down and look to knock out this tower. Abbedagge's teleport just about to be up.
And there's the leap in once again, taking tower shots for Odo.
Oh, that was almost really terrible.
Stepping forward, Jenax stays alive for a few seconds more. Tower aggro hasn't yet been picked up. Rift Herald will be summoned. Drop down. Meanwhile, SK will be able to pick up the dragon.
Yeah, that was a little sloppy coming through from Schalke. That ultimate could be big as well. Wow, saves them the tower. I'm not sure. I think with all the bonus resistances, Schalke probably weren't going to be able to finish that off anyways. So SK at the end of the day, probably pretty content with how that panned out, especially because they see it's going to be an Ocean Soul coming through. So 2 Drakes already, potential 22.5 minutes on that Soul if they're really optimizing around these. SK, they get that. All of a sudden, game looking a little bit different.
Oh, yes, especially when you consider that with Ziggs and Kog'Maw, and the sustain that can give you that is just going to be frustrating to deal with. Trick, by the way, again, showing his face in the bottom lane. Will get rooted up. Limit looking for a binding through the wall. There was no real fishing options. It's really difficult to thread that through the minion wave as well. And Crownshot will be able to take another plate, forced to flash.
Honestly, I just love watching Dreams. Like, the man is just instantly going for it. Crownshot greeds a little bit for that last turret play, but gets 160 gold. But now going to be out of a flash, and Abbedagge did teleport into mid lane, so won't be able to make a play with that one. But wow, SK are going.
Coming straight back in. Limit's going to find the route there onto Dreams. Dreams throws out the ultimate. He will get taken down in just a moment. Crownshot kills him. There goes the ultimate from Neon, and now the counter TPs from Schalke. Gilius is down. Here comes Abbedagge. He's going to look for Jenax first and finds him. Sand Soldiers as well as Emperor's Divide are available. When the Dark Binding doesn't find a target. Abba still has Flash, but it is a 4-on-3. The Schalke back away.
I really like that setup from SK because you see Kog'Maw loses his flash, he goes back to base. Like, you're not expecting SK to force the fight, but Crownshot TP's back into the fight. Jenax used his ultimate to get onto Limit, who'd absolutely locked down Dreams, who had just lost his flash. That's the critical thing there. We thought Crownshot losing his flash was the big deal. No, it was actually Dreams who is now caught out of position, and SK, within just a half second there, make the decision and win a fight.
Yeah, and it is good to see SK still have fight in them. It is even better to see 100% of the kills on Crownshot. He's got himself that Blade of the Rune King. He's picked himself up that Negatron Cloak as well. And if you are hoping for any more games this series, that man needs to be kept alive.
Yeah.
So, Jenax, you are on Stand United Crownshot duty. Step 1.
There's a black shield there too.
That can help too.
Step 2.
That's step 2. Step 3, Trick and ZaZee do better than the previous games. That's going to help a lot. SK, 500 gold up. Got 2 dragons. You already talked about that dragon win condition. And Ocean's up in 2.5. And now it looks like Schalke. There's going to be a Hex Flash.
Oh, Limit.
Oh,
no.
Full Limit and Crownshot did not listen to step 1 and 2, or did they? Stand United is not available. Crownshot will get that black shield step 2 accomplished. The Mega Bomb comes down.
Brownie.
Gilius easily takes him out as there's no support. Now, here comes Jenax. The dash will not find anyone, and Abbedagge Sand Soldiers will get some damage onto the tanks, but SK are not done just yet. They find themselves some kills. It's still a 2 for 2. So luckily or evenly, they trade.
Yeah, both teams able to trade that one out with the Rift Herald spawning a no objective on the bottom side. SK were also making their way up to top lane, so Schalke were the first ones to pounce once they got themselves too far forward. It was good punish.
Oh, very nice by Jenax. Cheeky to get through just in time. Abbedagge's going to try chase him down. He's got that Nash's Tooth, and Jenax will basically walk his way out. And now we're just going to look at the vision around Dragon. I mean, reset, pick up some wards, get ourselves ready for a fight. Do you think Schalke want to fight it? Like,
I mean, I think they absolutely can. With how powerful Abbedagge is, like, he's going to be sitting on 1,700 gold, so he can go back, pick up some big items. Gilius will also have the Rift Herald before this one, so the very easy, set play that Schalke can run is, you reset Gilius and Abbedagge here, or, I mean, actually, they have enough money, they should probably reset, and then you pass towards mid. You use the Herald in mid to set yourself up for the Dragon, down towards the bottom side, and they could potentially even give up the Drake to blitz down a tower in mid, although I don't think you want to put SK on soul point.
Definitely not, unless really feeling emblazoned that it won't get to that. Let's see what happens, because it is 45 seconds, and this time around, SK, we're trying to push into Schalke territory for vision, and they've only got 1 ward behind the Dragon Pit. SK waiting for Schalke to step forward.
Oh, he's just baiting Neon. Look at the man step forward. He's crazy.
Yes, he is. There's a Bioarcane Barrage. That W putting work in. Crownshot, no flash available. Remember, if he gets caught out, he is in trouble. Black Shield will buy some time there for Trick to escape, but now because Crownshot got chunked out, they are not going to be able to instantly challenge the Dragon.
They're forcing for a bit much. There is a Honey Fruit, though, if they were able to access, could help Crownshot sustain up. He has the Blade of the Rune King, but it's not quite enough. That's going to be the Herald in mid lane. That will knock down the tower and make it so easy for Schalke to move in. Wait, what's Trick doing?
The Trick step forward was looking for a flank, and he just gets caught out by Dream. Stand United has now been used, and they find the kill. That was well turned around, but it is at the cost of the tower. Now, without Dreams, do Schalke...
Yeah, it was so strange because Neon and Abbedagge did not step forward to support. Now, Odoamne was down bot side, and Schalke can actually just burst through this one. I think they get it.
It's done. Absolutely done before SK can even arrive. So that will slow down the Ocean Soul. Now, SK will get time and likely this tower as well. Gonna even out the tower score. But yeah, I was convinced Trick was going to go down, but the damage just didn't follow.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Stand United coming through from Jenax, and also I want to see how exactly Abbedagge and Neon got zoned over from the side here, because again, Trick is here by himself. There's no DPS coming through him. All right, dude, calm down. Like, you're cool, we get it.
Oh, exceptional.
That's the book again!
That is how they got zoned, or at least killed.
I don't think that zoned them, yeah.
I almost feel like they were focusing the tower.
I mean, they were, but you would figure they could move to their right there, because it's not like ZaZee and Crownshot can walk you down in that. It is a choke point, but you aren't at threat from your left-hand side.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, will be the kill for the tower, and they get the dragon on top, which is really what they came for.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the dramatic effect on our replays there. But take a look here, Abbedagge and Crownshot, 8-3, 8K, and then of course Odo following up behind. I mean, the game is very, very even. It will come down to execution. I actually didn't catch that replay. My hand was in the way. Did you manage to see it by any chance?
I mean, they just passed around.
There we go. So,
I knew what happened. I just didn't know why.
Thank you for validating Ender and proving him correct. Ding on the correction bell. By the way, Wit's End has now been picked up by Crownshot. We like that option, especially into an Azir Vladimir combination. And we're coming up to 20 minutes. And just a reminder of the stakes here. SK are fighting for their lives in series and in playoffs.
Yeah, I will also say, coming into any potential fights, it's really awkward for SK's frontline because of their itemization. As tanks, you have to sort of pivot. Either you go magic resist first, or you go armor first, and because there's so many diversified damage dealers from Schalke, you know, Azir and Vladimir are going to be able to shred through Trick because he's only gone through the Mercury treads, whereas Jenax, who's lane versus AP, well, there's double lethality users on Schalke's team, so that's going to be pretty tough to deal with. Will mean any potential fight. I think the next Ocean Drake could be a bit rough for SK's frontline, and that's a pain point that Schalke aren't going to be feeling because, as all damage dealers, you ramp up in your items very, very nicely, and there's no, you know, oh, I need this stat and also this stat to counter the enemy team.
I mean, Schalke are just playing fantastically everywhere. Every element of the game, every decision that they've been making. I know you've heard it a whole bunch, but you know they're on the verge of a 10-game winning streak. And we've been discussing quite extensively just how good the team is looking. And you know the way the playoff format works is if they win the series, they will face the lowest seed of whoever loses tomorrow and Sunday. And I think no matter which team that is, they're going to be more and more nervous.
I'm telling you, it's the Grim Reaper knocking on doors.
It really
and
feels that way.
Because we haven't seen a team really challenge them in a long, long time.
And we need to see what form Fnatic, Mad, G2, and Rogue come into, obviously over the next 4 days, right? But it is important to just realize here that first and foremost, Schalke put themselves one step closer to the World Championship. But at this point in time, there's that little nagging voice in the back of my head that's like, what if they make it to finals? How far can this team go? Because I'm starting to believe more and more.
The thing is, they can't lose. They have to win. They can't lose the best of 5. Here we go.
No, they absolutely cannot. Schalke are going to be able to escape for now as SK do not find any initiation. Now, admittedly, not a huge amount was invested. Trick is now going to be flashless as Gilius is escaping for his life. Look at the damage from Crownshot. Chunks out Gilius with 3-4 auto attacks. ZaZee completes them around Nomicon now as he is also, or picked up a little moment ago, and teleports now in towards the river. A minute until Ocean. You can bet your bottom dollar that SK have their eyes set on it.
So what we're seeing right now, it's really interesting how these two compositions interact, because I actually think in a smaller fight, where there's not multiple threats that can get towards Crownshot, Crownshot has free reign to pump out the damage.
Anyone.
Right? So unless Schalke are fully committing and Abbedagge is looking for an ult or Odoamne is flanking in from the side, that's where Crownshot is going to be able to post up and fire away. Now, when we get to this Ocean Dragon fight, I think things will get very, very different, especially if Schalke are able to get vision control and put in deep wards that Odoamne can flank off of. Because once that happens, all of a sudden Crownshot will be focused on running away instead of dealing damage, and that's where Schalke turn the fight.
And that's going to be very difficult. We need to see if SK can execute that and maybe adapt on their playstyle. Vision is now being contested. Gilius will at least challenge that ward that SK had just placed. Limit steps forward to pop the Scryer's Bloom. And everyone here is very early for the fight. That bouncing bomb from ZaZee didn't find a target. And look, Schalke needs to step into the darkness, which is partially good, but the moment Crownshot is moving, he's not spitting.
It's very true, it's very true. Oh, Jenax goes in.
Yes, indeed. There is a Sanguine pull from Odo, and he will be able to get it out. Emo Plague still available to him. The mine goes up and knocks down Trick. He's forced to run away. Neon fires the ultimate, Jenax running for his life.
Check this out. Schalke are buying time because Odoamne has teleport. He also has his ultimate, so he can get into this fight. He can flank in by one of the minions in the bottom lane, and Abbedagge has ultimate. They're ready to go.
Doing it. Odo's coming in from the bottom lane. This is the flank that he wants.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
5-man Hemo Plague. He doesn't go in. We put too early. Dreams. The dredge lines.
There it is.
There's the Hemo Plague. Odo waits for the perfect moment. That's going to pop. Not be able to do a lot more, though.
Abbedagge! Oh!
He does it again! What a fantastic play!
An absolute monster. He sees those two targets go golden. He puts the target on their back and he destroys them once again. 5-0-4. Schalke get the fight, they get the Drake, and they are right back in the driver's seat.
The patience and the control from Schalke are exceptional in this fight.
Because it was so easy to just pull the trigger, and you see Schalke all committing. They say, we must get Odoamne out of here because the TP will come through. And this is where Odo, he sees his moment, but he says, no, I can't go in too early. My team's not in position just yet. As soon as SK get doubts, they start turning around. That's where he finds Crownshot in the choke point, puts down the damage. In the corner, you see they got the Baron too, but just look at him go. What can't he do? Boom, the perfect timing!
I mean, literally, straight out of it. Straight out of Golden. Hashtag
Woo.
S04 Miracle Run. This is fantastic.
It's happening. They've got the Baron now too, and you can see when Schalke forced Crownshot to run, he can't deal the damage, and SK cannot win the fight. Even if ZaZee's pumping it all out there, it really is Crownshot or die.
Unbelievable. Abbedagge 5-0-4. 2.5 items completed. By the way, Neon very quietly amassing an army here. Got himself the rapid fire cannon, dusk fire. It's just feeling more and more like this series is over. And the question is just how far is Schalke going to go? They will face another BO5 right now. Gilius needs to run for his life. 2-1-2.
I mean, but they're going to lose an inhibitor for this.
Yeah,
just getting the kill, and Gilius will be able to stall for so long.
Buying some time with that ulti. No flash available. But
I don't even think he dies.
He doesn't. No, he escapes. SK, you're looking the wrong way. You are not focusing the right things. But to be fair, what options do they have? Down 5k gold.
How do they start a fight? I'm still waiting to see some reliable engage because it's just hard right now outside of playing for a Miracle Morgana binding or committing a flash in. And even then, Abbedagge has ultimate, Neon has guns. Like, what are you going to do?
Just look at the heads-up play. Neon interrupting the backstay with the ultimate as well.
Crazy.
Inhibitor is down. This will be the 10th consecutive win in a row for Schalke. As soon as they hit this next.
And I love the setup from this too. You know, Abbedagge, he has TP, could go to a side lane, but no, he's more valuable to the team. So it's Gilius escorting the minion waves in top lane. Schalke know they can win a 4 versus 5 fight at this point. So they're gonna maintain the siege down bot side, wait for the next wave to come on in here, and then that turret very, very close to going down.
And now, of course, with Odo ushering in the minions, buffing them up. Gilius bringing in the top lane. Once again, a threat on multiple fronts. Once again, forcing SK to split.
Oh, Odoamne can flank this.
There's the engage. Abbedagge with the instant disengage. Thanks to the Empress Divide, Neon is taking a lot of damage, and Jenax will not be able to take him
There's
out.
a tower there!
Neon escapes. The Sun Disc is up. Abbedagge, his passive manages to save Neon. And while that's going on, Gilius is putting pressure on the top lane. Yes, that was so close for SK, but it doesn't matter. Schalke are getting what they want.
They will never be able to find their mark. Schalke this entire series have begged SK to come into them, to fight them, and Schalke disengage or beat them down every single time. It has been proven game after game, and in this final game, and they're just 3 turrets and a Nexus away from going on to the next round.
Abbedagge got caught by the dog binding. Crownshot stepped forward to try get an auto, but I think his W was on cooldown. And the Sand Soldiers just wrecked him. Even while locked under CC, Abbedagge stood toe to toe. Man, there is a tower going down, but look at that gold lead.
That is the one team fight. And we were saying it too, like, look, Crownshot's doing great right now,
Yes.
but wait till he is challenged with the Vladimir and the Azir flank. When that happens, they will be torn apart, and that's exactly what went down. We saw this in draft. This has been a problem for SK. Schalke have beaten them in draft every single time. They've beaten them in the fights, and they're just the better team on the day.
Schalke have been the superior team on the day. They may have been the 6th seed coming into playoffs, but they are not the 6th best team in Europe. These playoffs are going to determine exactly how high up that number will go as we continue to see form from Fnatic, Mad, G2, and Rogue throughout the weekend. And obviously, I mean, we are talking about this game is over because just look at it. 7,000 gold lead. You know, Baron has just worn off. Their supers in lane. Compositionally, SK's strengths are countered by what Schalke can do. And it is just a matter of waiting for the opportune moment. And while Gilius may not have necessarily been the star this series, frankly, no one is needed to be. Every single member of Schalke has delivered. Every single member of Schalke has operated together as a unit. When you see those team fights, you see how they're working, it's apparent.
It's the beautiful thing about Schalke ever since they started winning, because for the first few weeks, it was just Gilius. He was the star. Like, even when he first came in and they were losing, he was still popping off. But then as, I don't know, they got their confidence together, you know, the team environment improved. Like, we have seen each player on this team just get better and better and better, and they've proven to be a flexible team that can carry through multiple different lanes. You know, yesterday it was Gilius, today it is Abbedagge,
Yes.
and he's absolutely on a roll.
And earlier, I think this game, you actually said you thought you'd seen Abbedagge's ceiling. I echo that sentiment so much. I really thought I did. But the last 3-4 weeks, well, there's no ceiling on this guy so far, right? But I want to see competition. ZaZee has not been able to challenge him, nor have SK. And Schalke will be looking at seeing how far they can run on this playoff bracket. Reminder, of course, that both of these teams are in the lower portion of the bracket. Elimination means you are done. Whereas tomorrow's and Sunday's games, the loser gets another shot. So let's take a look at the map because Schalke are setting up 8 seconds to Baron.
And we need to do a quick check-in on SK on Crownshot. His itemization, he has the Wit's End. He's also got some more resistances in that Aegis, and they have a Black Shield on top of it in these fights. So they have tools and the shielding to try and get him through. The question is, will it be possible? Because there is this potential flank that Abbedagge is setting up.
Oh, 2 flanks as well. Odo from the right.
That's a hook.
Another hook. This time.
Look at Odo!
Odo jumps in. The Hemo play catches onto 4. ZaZee's running away from him. It's done. It's done. Schalke proved that miracles can be made real. They are pushing into the base. SK Gaming have been obliterated, destroyed, deconstructed, and frankly embarrassed by Schalke today. This is a 3-0, 10 games in a row. And the question I ask everybody is, how good are Schalke? How far will this miracle run go?
Schalke beat SK at every stage of the way. Through draft, through playmaking, through team fighting, and through Abbedagge. This team is legit.
Schalke 04 3-0 SK Gaming. And when you see the look on their faces, they're happy, but it was inevitable. They knew this was coming. You can see it in how the teams perform today. And I'm very, very, very excited to see just how the rest of these best of fives play out.
Honestly, I was asked earlier in the week, like, who's the best team in Europe? And I said, Europe doesn't have a best team right now, and I will not know who our best team is until literally after game 3, 4, 5, whatever it is in the finals.
Agreed.
Because you have teams stepping up hugely. Rogue, Mad Lions throughout the split, G2 back on Resurgence, and Schalke now as well, absolutely on fire.
And of course, spare a thought for SK Gaming. It was a respectable run, I think, until today. I think placing 5th in the regular season, watching Trick find some form again, some impressive moments from Jenax and ZaZee, and frankly, Crownshot having maybe the best split of his career. But ultimately, they were outclassed today in every department.
It's unfortunate too, because it was so huge for them. Spring 2019 was the last time they made playoffs, and they came in today, and Schalke just could not be beaten. I think everyone is just waiting to see how good these teams are and how far they can go.
And like you said, we don't have a best team. You cannot say conclusively. We need to see every other team. That will be happening tomorrow and Sunday. For now, the Kia player of the series votes at LEC on Twitter. Gilius, Abbedagge, Dreams. I'm just going to ask you to remember Dreams' performance from the rest of the series, okay? Because yes, Abba flashed at the end. Anyways, coming up next, we'll hear from Gilius before Odoamne joins us in the post-game lobby. Don't go anywhere. Schalke Miracle Run, I believe.
They're so good.
They're going to win Worlds. Worlds 2020 Schalke skins. He can fly. You can't chase a flying void creature. And Febiven is caught out once again. And Kha'Zix kills Febiven. The Rift walk forward. Humanoid's got one. Not going to matter for the Counter-Strike. That's a double kill.
When playoffs came in the first split, we scrambled a bit under the pressure. But ever since then, it's been on an upward slope. In every single game, we go into the game with the mentality that we need to have fun. And we will have fun. Quite amazing, to be honest. We only have positive feelings towards each other and towards the future.
Crowny, gigantic damage onto Limit. Jenax takes the blast code, and that's Crownshot already down. He's blown up by Wonder. A kill for Perks.
We went from being very confident and saying it doesn't matter how we end up the regular split to being, okay, are we actually that bad? What's going on? But now that we actually had 2 weeks of practice in a row where we actually could read the meta and learn about it and get comfortable on picks, I think it shows that we're like just playing way better. I think when a good win streak, and now that we can actually set up what we think is good, it's way easier. So we genuinely believe that we're that strong.
Welcome back to day one of the LEC Summer Playoffs as Schalke 04 advanced to round 2, and I have God himself who joined me to talk about the game. Hi Gilius, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing really good. I'm really happy with the 3-0.
I can imagine. I mean, it looked easy from the outside, but how was it for you guys?
Well, today is like 36 degrees, so it was definitely a hard series for us. We were like sweating like animals, but yeah, I think we came in really prepared well, and yeah, we just executed pretty good.
Yeah, and that's actually what I want to know about, because we won't see SK again. So tell me about your prep, because you came here today with a new series. Best of 1 compared to best of 5 is a different story. A new patch also. You had to keep on surfing the momentum you had for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, tell me about the prep against SK.
Yeah, so there was a new patch, and we figured out what's OP on this patch, and we just spammed it. And we kind of knew what SK is going to do, like they have a high prio on Yuumi and stuff like that. And we were a bit scared of Twitch, but they never picked it. But yeah, I think overall really good prep, and people were like saying in social media that our momentum might fall off, but that's not the case. The momentum is going to keep going. It's going to keep going, but yeah, it's going to be a central question for you, because sometimes you see teams having this honeymoon phase through the beginning of the split or of the year, and you don't exactly know when it's going to fade or if it's going to fade. So I know it's hard to talk about this stuff, right? But you tell me that you know the momentum is going to keep on going. So how can you know for sure? It always depends on scrim results. So making playoffs meant we will scrim G2, Fnatic, Mad Lions, Rogue, the top teams. And if we got like Hearthstone 5-0 every day, then of course we will tilt. But we actually are keeping up with the top teams. We're doing quite well with them. We're not like 5-0ing them, but we're doing quite well. We're taking games off them. So that's why I think the mood in the team is really good. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, I kept on hearing all year that you guys were actually doing super good in training and in scrims and so on, so I guess you managed to translate this on stage finally, and I hope it's going to stay for you guys. But let's get back to the series here, because you talked about bot lane for SK, especially the Yuumi. There's been a lot of discussion around their drafts, item choices, even the stuff they tried here, especially in game 1 with the lane swap. So what did you think about what SK came up with here against you? Yeah, so it's a common strat, right, to do the lane swap against Senna, because Senna is really slow at pushing waves and towers. But it basically, like, it didn't take us off guard that much. We actually expected it to happen because the Jinx had TP. But yeah, I think we played accordingly. Like, Odo is the fucking king of lane swaps. Like, the guy just shot called everything and told everyone what to do. So. Yeah. He's going to be in PGL in a couple minutes, so is there anything you would like to say about Odo or your team in general, actually, in this series? Yeah, I just want to thank everyone in my team for this, like, great practice, great performances, our coaching staff, Abbedagge just performing out of his mind, and Odo shot calling everything. Yeah, thank you guys so much. You're all performing super well. Thank you very much, Gilius, for the interview, and we'll see you again next week. Now let's take a quick break, and we'll see you in a few minutes for PGL with Odoamne and these amazing people bowing to God Gilius.